By way of announcement, we have received the correspondence from His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State. Distinguished honorable members, I read. Right Honorable Victor Oko-Jumbo, Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Port Harcourt. Dear Right Honorable Speaker, request for confirmation and screening of nominees for appointment as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 2, Sub 2 of the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission, Amendment Law Number 3 of 2006, I hereby forward the underlisted names for confirmation for appointment as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly Service Commission. 1. Honorable Tamno Sisi Gogo Jaja, Chairman. Honorable Dr. Kennedy Ebeku, Member. Honorable Suberekon Clark, Member. Honorable Jones Ubunda, Member. Honorable Kingston Silvanus, Member. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards and best wishes. Thank you, yours faithfully, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, GSSRS, Governor of Rivers State. Right Honorable Victor Oko-Jumbo, Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Port Harcourt. Dear Right Honorable Speaker, requests for confirmation and screening of nominees for appointment as members of the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 44(3) of the Rivers State Local Government Law Number 5 of 2018, I hereby forward the underlisted names for confirmation for appointment as members of the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission. Number 1, Mr. Goodlife Ben, Chairman. Chief Emmanuel G. Jaja, Member. Ms. Betty Womit, Member. Barrister Jerome Chiminim, Member. Honorable Prince O. Ohochukwu, Member. Barrister Philip Okparaji, Member. Christian Amadi, Member. Please accept the assurances of my high regards and best wishes. Thank you, yours faithfully, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, GSSRS, Governor of Rivers State. It is very important that we remind ourselves of our duties and responsibilities to Rivers State. And one of such duties and responsibilities to our dear state is to give His Excellency's requests very speedy confirmation. Before us, I see leaders that have served meritoriously our dear states. I see leaders that have been given, who has given their life, their entire life, in the service of our dear state, who have given so much. And because they have given so much of their life to our dear state, I am also confident that His Excellency the Governor did a very proper job by selecting and nominating them to serve in that capacity as chairman and members of the Local Government Service Commission. And as such, this assembly would continue to partner with the executive arm of government to give His Excellency the needed support so that our dear states will move on very speedily, and so that workers would also feel the joy, or as they say, on the streets. I heard that yesterday, even though I'm not fully aware. I would confer with the leader to explain more. I heard the workers shouting, "Joy is coming." And the leader would explain to me later what that means. But I am very sure that if River State workers are saying joy is coming, then it means that His Excellency is doing the right thing. On this note, let me invite the leader to move a motion to escort the nominees for the Local Government Service Commission outside the hallowed chamber.
His Excellency, the Governor gave me a mandate to ensure that the place is sanitized. One of the problems the Commission is that of absenteeism. Workers on payroll don't go to work. Within this period, a lot of things have been done. And one of the things His Excellency did is to give life to the local government staff. As I came in, before they were not, as if they were not civil servants, as if they are outside the civil service. But now, His Excellency has given life to the local government staff. First of all, what he did was he directed the payment 30,000 naira minimum wage, first of all. He also directed that the local government staff should be promoted. Before, for about 10 years, they were not promoted. And this thing out of His Excellency brought life to the local government system. And now...
For how many years?
10 years, sir.
10 years?
Yes, sir. And that was one of the things the Commission went in, and we have successfully done that, and we have a report sent to His Excellency. Right now, we can boldly say that we have a local that is vibrant. But we're moving forward. A lot of things were done before now that made the local government system so weak. One of those things was that the law, the local government law, as was promulgated, there's a lot of inconsistencies. And one of those things I can say is that the local government pensions board was abrogated. And the local government staff not anything again at the end of the service. And that was one of the service to the local government system. Now, His Excellency, with the new reforms and the hope given to the local government staff and the cooperation of this chamber, this assembly, we are sure that a lot of these reforms will be done, and the local government will be a vibrant one. And very soon, the local government will be a place that people will envy to work. And I'm sure, and I know, that this assembly will help this present, if we are approved to work as chairman and members, this present committee, members of the assembly, are going to give life, and indeed new life.
Acting chairman and a nominee for substantive chairman.
Haven't received complaints and been a victims of several antics of those who are practicing in that sector. I would say the quack ones, Mr. Speaker. I believe that we should, as a responsible lawmakers of this state, set up a regulatory body and to give a solution to a societal problem that we are facing, Mr. Speaker. This bill is not in any way usurping the powers of the Ministry of Lands and Housing, Mr. Speaker. This bill is only adding policies, laws, and regulation into a sector that virtually all of us are in practice, either as customers or as a businessman, as the case may be, Mr. Speaker. In further to put clearance to that, today in the environment we have Rewama and we have other agencies who are working on the Ministry of Environment, and there has never been any problem in that because it is a law and is bound with regulation and how they are to practice. Mr. Speaker, this bill tends to solve the problem in licensing and regulation, Mr. Speaker. The authority will ensure that all real estate agents, brokers and developers are licensed and regulated to maintain professional standard. Mr. Speaker, you know that this aspect of human society with real estate is really vast and without the regulation, and we at this level in our state, most especially Port Harcourt where we are and the urban area, we need this to further help in our development and drive home what we call internal general revenue. When it's being regulated and the people are being known, most of them who are evading tax, Mr. Speaker, they will not have the opportunities of doing so. This bill tends to solve some issues of dispute resolution. There are some issues today. If you go to the police stations and all other traditional areas, you see issues of real estate problems in landing, housing, and all, Mr. Speaker. We believe that this bill tends to solve issues of some of these disputes because it will be well known in their practices. Mr. Speaker, the bill also tends to foster professional development. The regulatory authority will encourage continuous professional development for real estate practitioners. Mr. Speaker, today what we see private sectors organizing seminars for realtors which are not within the regulations of most of our government policies. You see real estate agencies coming up, so we say come and register, we'll train you in real estate. And we believe that there should be a body saddled with that responsibility. Mr. Speaker, one of the most cardinal points, and I believe it affects most of us who are tenants in some areas, is that of the pricing regulation. At this moment, Mr. Speaker, if you check your social media, you see complaints all over. People are complaining that even in the same area, you see price differences. You see the same one-bedroom flat, the same standard, giving different prices as the landlord feels. Most of them, when they have issues with their wives and there are problems in the family and they needed to bring in resources, they will call tenant and say, we have increased the rate in your rent and all, Mr. Speaker. We believe that this bill tends to curtail that, to say that you're living in so area, this should be a standard that we are to pay. Mr. Speaker, if we go to advanced countries, you see some have even reduced house rent tenancy to monthly basis, being that if they accumulate it, it will be difficult for occupants to pay. If we go to places like Lagos, there we have some of such a regulation, and we believe that our states have come to the point where we should have that too in us as a law that will regulate the people of the state. Mr. Speaker, the bill also tends to regulate ease, like the authority will initiate policies that will simplify regulatory processes to facilitate real estate development. Mr. Speaker, the bill tends to also bolster our infrastructural development. There are some who are not even within the shores of these states and wish to participate in real estate business in the state level, Mr. Speaker. They will need to know what are the policies and the guidelines in such area so that when they are coming, they know that their investment is being secured and safe, Mr. Speaker. It will further bring in what we call urban planning and also affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, if I continue to realize the merits of what this bill tend to solve as societal problem, I will keep going. But with your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, I wish to end at this point. Thank you.
I rise to support this Rivers Real Estate Regulatory. My argument will come from the angle of transparency. If this authority is fully established, there will be transparency in real estate transactions, including disclosure, hidden charges, commissions, and relevant information. Mr. Speaker, you agree with me that in most of these real estates, there are a lot of hidden charges. They will tell you if you get a house in that particular estate, apart from the normal payment, everything is free. Some will tell you that if you go in, you only pay social service charge, but underneath, there are other charges accruing from it. And thereby, I will assume it is a fraudulent act, and with this real estate regulatory authority, we shall be able to curb this, what I call this transparency, to ensure that there is transparency in that ministry. The second, again, I will look at is investment promotion. If there is transparency in this authority, that simply means that a lot of investors will begin to come into the state and invest in real estate. The next thing, again, I will look at is customers' education. Most of the customers, I mean the tenants or those who buy those houses, they are not fully educated and they don't know their left from their right. And those authority that has the privilege to own those estates, they dupe them so well. And so with this regulatory authority, this body will come educate people both in print media and in the radio stations to ensure that every individual who wants to indulge himself in one estate or the other should be able to know his right and his left. The next thing I will look at again is disciplinary action. This regulatory body will as well help to ensure that they issue what I will call disciplinary action on those estate owners who go contrary to say one thing and go to do a different thing. I'm sure with these 50 points I've given, this regulatory body will really help in the establishment of real estate properly in Rivers State. Thank you so much, sir.
Distinguished, I got an avalanche of text messages from different constituents, and part of their complaint, in fact, particularly a member of my constituent, had a growing cause of concern. And what he said to me was that he wanted to rent a house in Uji, and while the landlord of the property put the rent of that particular property very high, the agents, however, demanded for 20% agency fee of the total sum for that particular property. And that it did not even end there, that they now demanded 15% of legal fee on the said amount for the same property. It did not also end there. The text message also further reads that the tenant would now pay for what they call drink money. I don't know what that means. But they will now pay for drink money before they are allowed to rent such properties. In fact, that it is very key that the 20% agency fee and the 15% lawyer agreement and the drink money is brought before the actual payment of the rent itself. I believe that this Rivers State Estate Regulatory Authority Bill 2024 would solve some of these burning issues that affect our constituents and would also further regulate the activities of the actors, whether they are agents or they are landlords. And as such, I would further rely on Order 4651 to now commit this bill to the Committee on Lands and Housing with a term of reference to submit reports back to this House within 14 days. Distinguished honorable members, leader, please move a motion for closure of debates.